Hold on. Just a moment. Do you think that has been the case in the last few days?
Well, we don't think, we have not heard the APC or the government saying any single statement about people who are in their party or people who are served in their party, former governors, present governors, and we have cases abound of that. I can reel out issues of allegations of corruption against specific people in the APC, in the government, people who are surrounded, even in the last 3 months, in terms of the administration of the economy. We are hearing of cases where allocations, licenses, contracts, there's cases going on. And they're not
currently, in this government?
Currently. And
cases of corruption?
Corruption in this government.
Against the APC government?
Yes. And I tell you, when we mention the issue of the, whatever we say, people will ask us for evidence. We do have evidence. Before the PDP comes out to state something, we have done our homework very well. And we have cases. We have incontrovertible evidence.
Give us some instances.
What I'll tell you.
Give us some instances, Chief.
Let the party, when we spoke on the DSSS DG, it was only after APC came out and refuted it that we came up with it. Let them come out and say they don't have any person that is guilty of corruption, or they don't have people, or their people are saints. Because why will you now focus on the issue of only PDP? Yes, we have given up our people. Whoever is guilty, please prosecute him. Let him be convicted. But do not shield your own people, and do not use anti-corruption as an instrument for political witch hunt.
All right, just a moment.
Because while, like I said, while you are pursuing the issue of anti-corruption, Mr. President was not elected as the EFCC chairman. He was not elected to be IG of police. These things can go on while you focus on governance. Our own problem is that governance has been abandoned. Nothing is happening about the economy, sustaining the economy, progressing the economy. The whole policies and programs in that sector is completely redundant and moribund. And that is our problem.
Just a moment before I allow you coming. Allow Yemi Adamalekun to coming. Do you have any question as regards in the issue of corruption? Because I know your group and some Nigerians have come up on the streets to protest on the issue of corruption. What do you make of the anti-corruption fight? Do you think it's selective?
I'm not sure about I mean, it seems selective because a lot of the names that have been thrown up have been members of the PDP. But I would have to agree with Chief Metu. It's not about mentioning that, oh, money has been stolen, we know where money is. Nothing has been done. Yes, 100 days is a short period of time, to what Kadaria said earlier. So, but as any, I mean, no one has been arrested as far as I am aware of. EFCC has brought up a few cases, but other than that, there hasn't really been any progress made. But the protest I refer to, just to reiterate that, were people reacting to comments ascribed to Bishop Kuka. And the point at that time was really concerned that, yes, President Jonathan did concede, but that is not a blanket pass for them not to go after people with their cases. And I think what the administration did make very clear at that time was that the record and the trail that we can find, so it's not particularly relating to the Jonathan administration, but these are documents that we have. We can trace this, and based on what we have, these are the people that will be prosecuted. But to your point earlier, I think part of what has also been a challenge really in this case is we're talking about APC, the party, and then there's the government. And there really needs to be a distinction between both in terms of who's speaking for who. Alhaji Mohammed is a spokesperson for APC, the party. Now, APC is the governing party, but there really needs to be some distinction around when the presidency is speaking or the government is speaking. So I guess to your question earlier, you had asked if APC would negotiate with Boko Haram. It's really not in APC's place to negotiate with Boko Haram. It's really the government of Nigeria that is negotiated, that would, if they would, negotiate with Boko Haram. And on the issue about fighting corruption will not end poverty, I mean, it's interesting that it's a Harvard professor that studied that. It's almost common sense. It's like saying, okay, fine, we found a pot of money. Like, so corruption in Nigerian context is really alluding to people stealing money and diverting money from social services or services for citizens. But if I do recover all the money and I just put it on the floor and I don't do anything with it, obviously it won't. I mean, so people might not steal the money, but if you don't use the money effectively or channel it properly, as you said, then it really doesn't end poverty. Right. It won't end poverty in any way. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, let me quickly allow Demola to also. I know you have some level of, I see some of the things that you say on the social media, Demola, Tell me, I've heard you talk about the issue of corruption. What do you make of this administration's anti-corruption efforts?
Well, I think first of all, the 100-day period. Some have said that it's a short period to assess this government, but I think for a political party that campaigned, that Nigeria was at the edge of becoming a failed state. At a point, they said that Nigeria had become a failed state under the People's Democratic Party. One would have expected that 100 days would be enough to, hit the ground running and let us see things actually happening. This party, for me and for many other people, it appears that there's a certain lack of understanding of what to do, of the steps to take, which is very contrary to the pre-election stance of the All Progressives Congress. Before the election, we were told that there will be a parallel government if perhaps, there was rigging and so on and so forth. But here we have the party in power now, and you have the opportunity to actually form the government, but the government is still unformed. So I think Nigerians are a bit concerned about that, and it is important to put these things in context, because it gives us an opportunity to look exactly at where we are in the Nigerian context. Yes, corruption, yes, security, but there are a lot of other things that Nigerians would love to see, another direction, another trend. So for me, those are my concerns. One would hope that, because you see, like Chief Olisametu pointed out, that the APC, while in the opposition, used the 100-day benchmark. I mean, there are former governors of the APC who used that benchmark to signal, the potential success or the potential failure of PDP governments. Now, if they are the ruling party, I think one would expect that Nigerians, whether or not we are PDP, but we all must put them on their toes constantly. Right. And talking about social media, I think there's a tendency there's a creation that you cannot speak against this present government, and which I think is a little bit unfair.